Hello everyone, Maryann here, revealing light, tarot, astrology and spirituality. Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. This month I was able to do tarot scopes, and I wasn't going to, and they're released this morning, all signs, timestamps in the drop down menu below the videos. I wasn't going to come on today, but of course the Jack Smith's brief, 165 page brief dropped this morning, and of course I thought I couldn't not come on and do a short reading for you. In that brief, I'm still wading my way through it. We see the breadth of the deceit and the conspiracy, not just from Trump but from his co-conspirators as well. They're listed in the brief as P1, P2, etc. I guess the overriding question that I have now this morning is, will it cost Trump votes, and can he win an election after this? I've always seen Kamala Harris in power in 2025. Is this the nail in the coffin? And also, how much of a deterrent will this be to others who are thinking of any type of coup attempt or trying to interfere in a free and fair election? Will this be a deterrent? And, you know, let's see if it will eventually, after the election, go to trial. Now, just backing up a little bit, at the time of the SCOTUS decision, I said that we would hear a trial before the election to determine what were official acts and what were not. And that was where I finally came out. I've always seen some kind of legal, well, we can call it a trial or a pre-trial before the election, and we're starting to see what Trump didn't want to happen, what he fought so hard to stop, evidence coming out before the election. This is the October surprise for Trump. Now, the Middle East, I looked at in my last eclipse reading, I looked at Iran attacking Israel or responding to Israel in an attack, and of course that occurred. It is now the 3rd of October here in Australia. It's the 2nd of October in the Northern Hemisphere. The other area that I focused on was justice in the US, and I think now we're seeing the eclipse Libra energy play out. We're seeing a balancing of the scales. We are seeing turmoil in the Middle East, and unfortunately I feel it will escalate further, and I do feel that eventually there will need to be a global response to the Middle East, whether that comes in the way of enforcing a Security Council recommendation via a global force going into the Middle East. The Italian Prime Minister is already saying it's time we sent a peacekeeping force into the Middle East, and that there are similar sentiments being echoed as well. The real danger, of course, is if there will be any sort of nuclear weapon used, and I guess the one that has nuclear power we know in the Middle East is Israel. We don't know what Iran has, but anyway, let's leave the Middle East for another day. I want to get right on to the Jack Smith brief now. So, all right, the co-conspirators, once they are tried, I think when we get to their trials, that will be really illuminating. The dominoes have fallen, are falling today in a very big way. So I want to know, strength, yeah, it's a strong brief, absolutely. Let's have a look at, will it cost Trump votes? Will Jack Smith's huge 165 strong brief, I think it's even, there's no word for it. Every line is, they say, has been crafted with absolute skill to show that this was not the president undertaking official acts it was a candidate, and these acts are not covered. They're not official, and he's not immune from them. So will this Jack Smith's brief cost Trump votes? Will Jack Smith's brief cost Trump votes in the presidential election? Before I lay the cards, I want to say that Trump's health is in real jeopardy. I mean, there could even be pressure on him to pull out of the race. So we get the Three of Cups, which is circles of support, celebration. This is a joyous occasion. I can't help but smiling because I know a lot of my viewers want to see justice after January 6th, and there we have the King of Pentacles. So the big question here is people around him that are enabling him coming together, closing ranks, trying to discredit this brief. We have the Moon card here. There's a volatility and things coming up from underneath the surface. That Moon card keeps coming out with Trump. And the last reading I did on his health, I said he's mentally, I called it lunacy. That might have been too harsh, or was it? Let's see something coming to fruition in time as in the past. And so that is interesting too. This was always going to occur before the election. Now we have victory here in the sky. That's what is crowning the reading. And we have the Three of Wands waiting for one ship to come in and overseas influences. Now we have Trump here feeling battle-weary, embattled, and we have the Emperor, control. These are events that he cannot control. Let's see what else is coming up here. And this is my card for the Democrats. It's in the hopes and fears. It's families. Let's see, families, reunions. That's traditional meaning, although this to me again has a more celebratory feel to it. We have the Ace of Cups, and that is a yes card, and we're looking at multiple headlines coming in thick and fast. We have secrets being emerged. I haven't read the full brief, others haven't read the full brief, and then we get the Justice. Oh my goodness me. Look at these cards. I asked, will it cost him votes? Okay, so we have the Six of Wands, victory. Will it cost him victory? Will it cost him votes? These are all yes cards. We have the Ace of Cups, planting a new seed. This is something new. And then we get multiple headlines coming in thick and fast. We have secrets being revealed, and we have the Justice card finally. And this is the heart of the eclipse. Whether you're in the Middle East or you're, looking at, it's about looking at Trump. It's about the truth emerging, and I said that in my eclipse reading, that it would bring forward, a truth, and this is going to increase throughout October. Okay, base of the pack we have a. Can be young people, but it is a new plan. We have the truth coming out, motivation. We have the disappointment, 3 cups lost, but 1 cup remaining. Indeed, I don't write off Donald Trump at this time, or his campaign. We have here the Ace of Swords, which is truth and clarity, and we have his loss there, and Jack Smith, the prosecutor. So I don't see, I see that this will actually cost him votes, and I see that the headlines just keep on coming throughout October. All right, now, I want to see, can he win an election after this? And, will there be calls for him? Well, that's a separate question. Will there be calls for him to drop out? Let's see. Will there be Republican calls from his own campaign or his own side? Will there be Republican calls for Trump to drop out? Will there be calls for him to drop out? So we have restriction, paranoia, worry. They're all worried, and we have moderation, calls for from the more moderate areas of his camp. They, I mean, Tim Walsh, I said, would not be caught flat-footed in the debate, and he wasn't. In fact, he snookered J.D. Vance in the end. But we did get to see who and what J.D. Vance was, a very polished, slick, Yale-educated lawyer, someone very who carefully has crafted his image, who was appealing to a more moderate audience very strongly. It was, from where I stand, quite pathetic. But we perhaps saw Trump's successor. So we have more moderates, the more moderate Republicans down the ballot in those seats that perhaps Biden won in 2020. They are worried. All right. And there we have it. Again, this thing isn't going away. It's just going to increase in momentum. Consistency and stability is in the past. This is upending everything. It could even affect the donors, the campaign donors, because they do not want to be associated with someone who so quite clearly in that evidential brief appears to have committed or tried to commit a coup. And we have, again, Biden's influence coming through here. So there will be calls, I'm going to say, from the more moderate Republicans in seats that they become very worried as the month goes on, and they may call for him to step down. There may be some of those calls. Now, I mean, how bad is this really for Trump? Yes, it will cost him votes. Yes, some in his own party will say, he probably should make way, stand down. I mean, that would be the pressure is just going to increase on Trump. And if you didn't think justice was being done, it is being done right now. How anybody who votes for Trump could hold their head high, could hold their head up in any way after everything we know, and this as well. Okay, so can Trump win? Will Trump win the election? The presidential election. Will Trump win the presidential election after this? Will Trump win the presidential election after this brief now has been released? Will Trump win the presidential election in 2024? Whoa, okay, there he is again, and there's the devil. Okay, so this is, this is the MAGAs, this is the whole grift, this is the greed, this is the avarice. I want to say, I know Trump says he doesn't drink, but I could have, remember I saw that opened whiskey bottle, I could have sworn that he might have been, I know he has some problems with Adderall, that's been widely documented, allegedly, but I could have sworn he was high in some of those rally clips that I've been seeing. So we get the lovers here, the MAGAs, they're addicted, they're wedged to him. The past, we have the Page of Pentacles. Nobody likes a loser, do they? My card for the Democrats is in the sky, and we get the Hanged Man, pausing and suspending. I keep feeling that if the Middle East blows up too much, would that impact on whether an election was even held, but that's for another time. So we get the Three of Pentacles. They're working hard at this time. I guess that's his campaign donors, the Musks, etc. And this is where I thought the pressure might come for him to step aside for someone like Vance. loss. It's almost like the election is lost right now. Hopes and fears, obviously the victory card, and we get no. The Four of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands, and standing and defending oneself. There she is. There's Harris. No, he can't. He won't win. And of course, that's what my cards keep on saying. And I just get it again. I mean, it's not. I shouldn't laugh, but you've seen the cards. You know the energy, and these are the outcome cards. He will lie again, and this is where I want to come out. Will it deter others willing, those who would be willing to break the law? By the way, a judge has said in Georgia they can't. They have to certify the election. It looks like that matter will be cleared up before the election. The voting rolls continue to be purged. There's another 174,000 gone from somewhere, one of the states. Please check your registration. The good news is those that were taken off the rolls re-registered pretty well straight away. And remember, my reading said that would not make, whatever they're trying to do would not make a difference. Will this deter people around Trump or Trump? People around Trump. His willing enablers that he throws under the bus. Will this deter them from breaking the law? Or trying to stop the steal? Will they think more carefully about their involvement now? Understanding that there are co-conspirators who will be tried, that there are January 6 riders in prison. The only one who's not in prison now is Trump. So, will this deter them? Something's got to wake them up. Treason, the spy in the camp, and we get secrets. Secrets emerging, and then we get money, the grift, the ace of cups, and then we get partisanship. It's a crossroads. That's, I'm pleased to see. We get the energy here. The Five of Wands, the grifting that goes on. Remember those that were taking $400,000 a month from Russia for spreading Russian talking points. The Two of Swords. I watched the debate in its entirety. We learnt that Russia spent $500,000 on Facebook. There were a lot of things we learnt in that. Okay, so the Two of Swords. It's a crossroads. If Plan A doesn't work, let's have a look at what might work, and we get victim status, locked out. Oh yeah, they're feeling like there's nothing that they could do now that would work, and that's a good thing going into the US election. Page of Pentacles in the hopes and fears, and then we get the Lovers, the MAGAs, illusion and delusion, of course, and the Knight of Wands, and yeah. So they're already being paid. Now we know Trump pays his rally attenders. They get a note saying that the money's gone into their account, and then they leave the rallies. There are those that are being paid to play particular roles in relation to trying to thwart the vote. There are those who are so deluded, I'm afraid, that they would abuse. This is sabotage and try and abuse. So it may make the more, how can I put it, the more sensible take stock, but ultimately his MAGA base is still there. Okay, it's a crossroads time. It's unfortunate it has to happen again, but we do get moderation. We do get the Death card. It's over, and there we get Trump again. Why? Because of what's coming out. So I'm not going to say completely that It won't stop them. It will stop some. But the hardcore supporters that would do anything for him will continue to do what they're going to do. All right, so I'm just going to see, will the election now, will Kamala Harris win convincingly? That's what I want to ask now. Will Kamala Harris be able to win the presidential election convincingly? Will she be able to win it convincingly? Will she be able to now win the election convincingly? Okay, we get the 4 of coins and we get the 10 of wands. So it's an uphill still. Would you believe that? It should not even be a contest. There's a lot of anxiety still, but we're only at the first truncheon of this reading. We have boldness in the past, stepping forward. We have the Page of Cups, surprises and bombshells. Okay, there's a lot, I don't need to tell you, there's a lot of anxiety around this election. And it is the end of a cycle. This is weighing up, balancing, can be manipulation as well. We have the Ace of Wands. There's the momentum. And there's the crossroads. Okay, so despite this brief, we're still in the same situation. There's still the same underlying energies. However, I haven't finished yet. In the hopes and fears, something coming to fruition in time. And then we get the Knight of Cups, which is a good card. It's a yes card. We get a lot of emotion, a lot of people wanting that Ace of Cups, that new start. We also get those that would try and steal, again, a fair election. This can also be clarity. And then we have the High Priestess. So, and the 9 of Pentacles. So, unfortunately, what will again rear its head are the more nefarious actions of Trump and his campaigns and his minions and MAGA supporters. They still have the Congress. They still will try and stop the steal. Stop a free and fair election. We have manifestation, and we have moving out of troubled waters. We have consistency, the end of a huge cycle, and we have my card for the Democrats. So my prediction hasn't changed. She will win, but I was hoping she would win by so much that it would be impossible to even try these nefarious measures, but I still see them occurring. And why would we be surprised about that? Even more reason to get out and vote and make that result not even close. Give her such an advantage, because it will make it more difficult for them to do what they're planning to do. Okay, so let's have a look. Will the January 6th case go to trial after the election? Will the January 6th on the split new starts? Will this January the 6th case go to trial after the election? Will the January 6th case go to trial after the election? Okay, its inevitability, a judgment occurs, and we get the 10 of Wands, the end of a cycle. We get the loss and walking away. We get justice. We get the 8 of Pentacles, a lot of skill here. We get the Tower card. Makes Trump even more desperate, I want to say. That's my January the 6th card. Something coming to fruition in time. We get the Knight of Cups in the atmosphere around. Hopes and fears, the new start. And then we get the Queen of Cups. Yeah, letting something out of the bag. We get wish fulfillment. And then we get the 5 of Coins and the Chariot card. So there are 3 yeses there with that 5 of Coins. We also get the Minor Arcana Death card. there are people who are named as co-conspirators that are going to face justice as well. So yes, there are, and there's going to be no reprieve for them. Show me the Five of Pentacles. Is this correct? Are they going to not, I mean, literally face justice, have no help from anyone? Are these Trump? This can be money issues for him as well. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go to trial. Show me the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, there he is. It'll go to trial and there will be nothing that he can do about it. Trump has money worries, particularly after the election. Trump has money worries now, which will just worsen when he can't campaign. He can't make money off campaign donations, and paying for those exorbitant expenses that they do. All right, will he be sentenced to jail? Will Trump, just a few cards and then we'll finish up. Will Trump be sentenced to jail on the January 6th charge? I won't go any further. Incarceration, restriction. There he is. Look, folks, that's the most definitive. And there we've got Harris. That's the most definitive answer I have had yet about him going to jail. On this one, it's likely he will be restricted, incarcerated, whatever the word is. It's a lay down misère for him. And at the base of the pack is Harris in the presidency, because otherwise he would pardon himself. No, there's no pardon for him. No pardon for him. Okay, I'll leave it there. I've got some things to do, so I'll follow this up on Monday when I've fully read the brief, and we might even dig around to see who some of those co-conspirators might be. We know most of them. We know the lawyers, but there are others. We know the campaign officials, but there are others that we don't know. So we'll get back onto it next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.